Hello all and welcome back. So in this video we are going to continue our discussion on recursion and see how recursion can be used to solve problems related to strings. So let's get started. Now the basic idea is still the same. Recursion for us is still actually a way through which we can solve a problem which depends on a similar smaller problems. Now the good thing about strings is that just like array or your list, your strings can also be broken down into smaller version of itself. And we know that for the same, slicing and indexing are the major concept which is supported in Python. So I would highly suggest, if you have not seen their videos which is included in this particular course, please make sure that you see that and understand what exactly this is. Now I will just help you to give a quick refresher. Slicing is when we want a part of a string. Okay, so let's say if our string is hello, then using slicing I can get, let's say, the part hello of my string by removing h, and via indexing I can get a single element. Okay, indexing and slicing both works forward as well as backward, though if you are comfortable with either one of them and majorly the positive one, we should be good to solve the question of recursion. Now the idea is that we will be working on some part of string and let recursion handle the rest. A very easy question for this can be, if we want to find if a particular character, let's say in this particular hello word, if we have o present or not, then of course we can check on one part of the string and let recursion take care of the rest. So we will be solving more and more question on this and the concept will get clear. Moving forward, I will also make sure that I solve some hard problems on this as well, because in strings many things are there which have to be mastered, okay, via in case of recursion, which help us to solve other problems. So please make sure that your overall concepts and idea of using string functions and this is a lot clear. Okay, so now let us actually solve one question, everyone. Strings, we have already established that they are just arrays or list of like continuous characters, right? And we can break them. So let us solve some questions. Now the very first question which I want all of us to solve is to remove character. We will be giving a string and we will be given a character. Okay, and what we have to do is we have to remove that particular character from that string. So let me just solve this, 1 second. So first, as we do for each and every of the recursion problem which we are solving, or any problem in algorithmic solving, what we do is we first try to see that, okay, what exactly will be the input and the output, right? So in this particular case, whenever you are given any string, right? Whenever you are given any string, in this case, good morning, the final output will have all the z removed. Similarly, if let's say the string is dragon ball z, then the final output is going to be dragon ball. Okay, so now let us try to solve this, everyone. We are going to solve and use the recursion framework which we have learned. Now the very first thing which we used to do is to write our base case. Now base case, as many of you can think of, just like list and arrays, we have, if a string is empty, right? If the length of my string is 0, or I can say that if s is equals to an empty string, then of course I cannot remove anything. I cannot add, I cannot remove anything from this, right? It won't be having that character. So I can return the string as it is. Okay. So that's our base case. That's the first step. Second can be our recursive call. Now in the recursive call, I have to make sure that I can somehow divide my string and let recursion take care of that. So we can call our recursion remove character, and we can call it, say, on everything apart from the first character, because we are going to work on the first character. Okay, and the last one is just our work. So in this particular use case, in this particular problem, our work will just to be check if s1 of 0, that's going to be equal to z or character or not. Okay, so that's the whole work which we have to do, everyone. Now I have already explained you this framework, this 3 steps, a lot of time. We are also aware that these second and the third steps, right, they are interchangeable. So you can do either of one of them first. So let us see the same, everyone. Now let's say first is if length of my s1 is equals to 0, or s1 is an empty string, then we can just return as it is. Okay, so we have to make changes in a string only, right? So we can return the string as it is. Let me just get it into answer and we can print the answer in the end. Okay, everyone. So this is how we are going to do it. Now the next thing is we have to, so what we are saying is we are going to call recursion. Okay, so let me make it small answer or recursion answer, which is going to be remove character. I will be passing S1 and this, and I will be passing CH as it is. And finally, once I get my answer, there is just few things which I have to do before I can return this answer. If the first character, the character which I am dealing with, if it's equal to CH, then we don't need to include that, right? So we can just return this small answer. But if that is not the case, what I can do is I can return S1 of 0, the first character, plus small answer. Now strings are of course concatenated by adding this plus, and I think this code will run perfectly fine. Let us run this and see the codes. Yeah. So good morning is coming. Now let me take another string and show you the output. So let's take A, B, C, Z, Z. Okay. Let us try to run this. It is working perfectly fine as well. So let us see this once, everyone. Let me show you the same thing once by drawing the volt tree so that you understand the same. Now please make sure that you write the recursion relation and everything, because that's going to be a lot helpful. Okay. So I will be getting my string. I will be getting my string S1 equals to ABC ZZ. I'm going to check if the base case is there or not. I think it is not. The length is not 0. I'm going to call it to the next recursive call, which will get BC and ZZ. Similarly, it is still not the base case, so I'm going to call for CZZ. This is going to call for ZZ, Z, and finally an empty string, right? Now this right here is actually the base case. So this I know is a base case, and here we are returning the string as it is. So let me return it. It's going to be an empty string. Okay. Now when I see for this particular function, it will check if the first character, which is S1 of 0. So this is our S1 here, and S1 of 0 seems to be equal to CH, which is our Z, right? If that is the case, then we have to make sure that we return the answer whichever we are getting, because we don't have to include Z. The whole aim of this question is to make sure that we can remove this character, right? If that's the case, then I can actually just return whatever I'm getting from recursion, because I have to make sure I'm just skipping this character. Okay. Similarly, in this case as well, because S1 of 0 is equals to Z, I can return an empty string. Now, this time it's C. It is not equal to Z, so we are not going to go in this particular line, and instead append our character at the starting. Okay, so now it's going to be C plus empty string, which is nothing but your C. Similarly, here the first character is B, so we are going to append our character in the starting. The BC is something which you want to return, and finally we will just combine ABC and return it. Okay. So I hope everyone this thing is clear. Now please make sure that you don't think of these three while writing your code, but once you have written the code based on the PMI principle which I have taught specifically in recursion, then you should be good to write this code. Okay. So let us try to just visualize it quickly, everyone. Now I know I've shown this already, but I want to still make sure that you understand this very nicely. Okay. So pay attention, everyone. S remove character S1 SH. So this is the S1. Now we are going to make the call CH is equal to Z. Okay. It's going to check for the base case here and then move forward. Now to get the small answer, it's going to make a function call. Okay. So if you will see, now the string has actually been shortened. Okay. So let us call it. Now the next, again, it's not a base case, so it's going to call the function call again. It's CZZ. Then again it's ZZ. It's Z and Z. As of now, nowhere we are checking it, right? We are nowhere checking it. And finally, when my string will be an empty string with 0 characters, that is where I will hit the base case. Everywhere you will see that CH is just getting passed as Z only, because I am passing it as it is. Now, what's going to happen, because it's an empty string, I'm going to return my S1 as it is. So let me return it. Once it is returned, this particular function will get the small answer as an empty string, and it will check for itself. Is the first character equal to Z? Yes, it is. So I'm just going to return my answer, because I don't have to include that, right? Same for this particular function. We're going to return the small answer which we are getting. But in this function, when it is CZZ, the first character, the S1 of 0 here is actually C. So I have to make sure that it is part of my final string and not skip that. So if we do that, else statement is going to get run, and we are going to append this C to my answer, and this is the return value. Once I go upwards, again B this time is the first character. It is not equal to CH. So I'm going to move forward. And BC is the answer which I'm going to return. And finally, A is my answer. Now, see, everyone, please make sure that once you run on recursion, right? This I have told you many times, but still I want you to make sure that you assume and understand this. When you call this particular function, when you call this particular recursive call for this function, like this is the exact same function which you are calling, right? You have to divide your string. So your string become BCZZ. Okay, this is what S1 of H is going to be. And you have to assume that you will get your answer. So you will get BC here and write all your code with this BC in mind as an answer. Now, how is that going to happen? You don't have to worry about. So assume this small answer is going to be BC and based on that, write your whole code. And if you do your work properly, if you handle all the cases, all the edge cases, then for sure, PMI says that your answer is going to be right. And that is something which we have done while writing our code, right? I didn't draw this tree while I was writing the code. No. I just had this assumption, the same thing which I have taught you. I just had this particular assumption that once I pass this string, I'm going to get all the Z removed. I don't need to question how recursion is going to do that. Okay, the same understanding is going to carry on in string as well. Okay, everyone. So once you have written the code perfectly, then it's going to work fine and we can see the answer as well. So finally, when I do this, my answer is ABC, where in the end I can just print ABC. Okay. So yeah, everyone, I hope this thing is clear how we have written this particular code, how the principle of recursion is used here as well. It's very, I would say, similar to how we were using it in list, but we have to just see, and some different questions are there. So we are going to solve that and understand and master this particular way of doing recursion and strings. Okay. So cool then, everyone. Let's meet in the next video. Just please make sure that you're doing all the questions which I am adding in your course, because that will help you to understand and actually better do this question yourself. Okay, so I've added lots of assignments for you. So please make sure that you do that, because these assignments are added or crafted in such a way that they help you in understanding recursion a lot more in depth. Okay, so cool everyone, let's meet in the next video and continue our discussion.